All right, so here's the flow of our orientation today. Next slide, please. All right, next slide. Okay, so as you can see, we will begin with the academic instruction, both English and Chinese instruction, followed by the school registrar's presentation. Then see some AVP from the student services and academic support departments. Finally, we'll have the question and answer segment.
今天会议的流程，首先由教务处英文跟中文部开始，接下来呢就由注册处，然后由学生事务与学术支援处旗下的训导处、医务处以及辅导与咨商处来介绍相关重要信息。最后一部分就是问答环节。好，那我们可以开始。Next slide.
Okay, so for our assessment and progress monitoring, can we go to the next slide? All right, so let's take a look at the junior high school grading system first. Next slide, please. All right, so for our first subject, Filipino, these are the components. We have the written task with 40%, the performance task 40%, and long test 20%. So everyone, you may want to take a screenshot of how your children will be graded for this subject, Filipino. All right. Now let's head to the next slide. Now this is for English, both for grammar and literature components. It follows a similar format as Filipino in terms of the grading system. Written task 40%, performance task 40%, and long test 20%. So to those who are wondering what the written tasks are, they are made up of seat works and quizzes. The performance tasks are made up of recitation, group work, and other relevant performance tasks. And finally, the long test. Once again, you are invited to take a screenshot of what you can see on your screen. Rest assured, of course, that to those who were unable to make it today, the subject teachers of your children will share these components and respective percentages on during the first week. All right, now let's head to the next slide. Now this is for mathematics, written task 40%, performance task 40%, and long test 20%. Now let's head to the next subject. Now this is for science. For the written task, we have 40%, performance task 40%, and finally, long test, we have 20%. Once again, you may want to take a screenshot of the following. And to those who just got here, your children's subject teachers will present these to your children during the orientation week. Next slide, please. Now this is for Araling Panlipunan or AP. Written task 40%, performance task 40%, and finally long test 20%. And this is for technology and livelihood education. So on the left side of the table, you can see technology, and on the right side, livelihood education. For the technology component of TLE, 20% is for written works, 60% is for performance tasks, and 20% is for the long test. The same can be observed for the livelihood education, written works 20%, performance task 60%, and long test 20%. Now let's head to the next slide. This is for values education, written task 40%, performance task 40%, and your children's conduct 20%. Next slide.
大家好，在中文部的部分，就是华语综合跟数学的那个计分方式是一样的。那么首先在书写部分，包括单元考、课堂练习，还有家庭作业，占35%。再来课堂表现是课堂的参与度、口试，还有报告也是35%。最后阶段考。占30%。好，谢谢。
All right, a few gentle reminders. Next slide. Parents and guardians, kindly take note of our food drop-off time for junior high school this school year. Kindly place the tags including the name and section of your child.
好，那我们的送餐时间是10:45到11:15。那么请记得在午餐袋上标注学生的姓名和班级。
Okay, next, gates 1 and 2 shall serve as dismissal gates. This is for junior high school.
好，那么中学部、初中部的学生在放学后，请记得要使用1号大门跟2号大门离开学校。
Next. So we're still going to maintain Google Classrooms as previously practiced, but this time the big difference is Google Classrooms will only be used as repository of files, meaning this will be our digital bulletin board, sometimes reminders, and this is also where the teachers and advisors can put your children's topic for the week or for the month, including handouts.
好，那么今年我们还是要保留使用这个谷歌教室，但是不同的是，这一次的谷歌教室只会使用作储存文件的储存库。所以呢，比如说，老师要发布一些公告、学期范围，或者是学习资料、每周计划，或者是其他重要事情，老师们就会贴在谷歌教室里面。
All right, so as mentioned, so this is an example of the topic coverage, which will be uploaded to or posted on the Google Classroom page. All right, next, 6-day cycle shall be observed this incoming academic year.
那么今年呢，初中的英文部将采用6天学习周期作为课程安排。
Next slide. Now let's take a look at the sample class schedule for a 6-day cycle. So as you can see here, we have multiple periods. First, we begin with 7:30 to 7:45. This is an English homeroom, but we'll see an alternative schedule later on for those that will start their class with the Chinese subjects. So here we have for 15 minutes English homeroom, followed by 90-minute session, which is the first period. And then we have recess minutes, and then another 90-minute session, second period. And then we have the next class for that. So you would notice that the third period is divided into two. So two 45-minute session. So we're going to have a lunch break after that to be continued. So we're going to have another 45 minutes followed by the first Chinese subject for that day, and then another 15-minute recess or a short break. And finally, we have the last Chinese subject. But before the dismissal, we're going to have another 15-minute session for the Chinese homeroom.
好，那么这个是第一种的上课时间表。那这一章不包括丁组和戊组这两个班级，所以丁组和戊组有另外一个上课时间表。好，那这一章就是 OK， 哎，这一章就是 sections DNE， 就是丁组和戊组的上课时间表。那么它不同的地方就是上面的早上的头3节课是先上中文课，然后那个10点15分以后就开始上英文课。
Okay, so now let's head to the wearing of uniforms.
然后制服的穿着。
Okay, we will answer your queries later on. So we have a dedicated session for that. Thank you. Okay, so for the uniform, every student is expected to wear the prescribed uniform. So these are some examples you can see on your screen when attending classes. But take note that PE uniforms can be worn the entire day, but only during PE days.
好，那么关于制服呢，就是首先就是学生他的那个上衣，就是这个衬衫必须要有中正学院的标志。那么另外呢，如果当天需要上体育课，那就可以全天穿着体育课的制服来上课。
Next slide, please. All right, now for the availing of textbooks. Next slide. Okay, so here are the contact details of the school bookstore. Please take a screenshot of this slide so that you know how to avail your child's books.
然后这是书店的联系方式。
All right, so let's take a look at the next slide. Let's get to meet our educators. Next slide. So for the English academic instruction, feel free to contact the following supervisors. All right, so the first one, we have the director for the English instruction. He is also the vice president for the academic affairs, Dr. Rollins Chua. Next, We have for the junior high school English instruction, we have the following supervisors. We have Mr. Alan Ray Villaverde, the supervisor for English, Science and Technology, and Livelihood Education. So concerns regarding these areas should be, you may address them to Mr. Villaverde. We have for Filipino, Araling Panlipunan and Character Education or Values Education. We have Mrs. Emma Llanado. And finally, we have Mr. Fidel Savares, our supervisor for the math curriculum, grades 1 to 10. Feel free to contact them. Next slide. Okay, supporting our supervisors are the coordinators of the following subject areas or learning areas. We have Mr. Marco Diwa, the Filipino coordinator. For English, we have Miss Sanji Saneta, the grammar coordinator, and Mr. Orlino Malano Jr., the literature coordinator. For the mathematics learning area, we have Mrs. Maria Armi Rojas. For the science learning area, we have Miss Donna Helwa. For Araling Panlipunan, we have Mrs. Rosalinda Bonifacio. For LE or livelihood education, we have Mrs. Jessa Lu Mangas. And for technology, we have Mrs. Rebecca Hamor. Next slide, please.
好，我们中文部我们中文部的总主任是朱慧玲总主任，那么初中部的主任就是在下。那么如果有任何疑问，请随时与我们联系，谢谢。好，以下呢是我们的组长。那么首先，担任8年和10年级数学组长是李建宇老师。然后十年级的华语和综合组长是杨秀燕老师，9年级的华语和综合组长是施娜君老师，7年级和9年级数学组长是曾纯静老师，8年级的华语和综合组长是庄东东老师，7年级的华语组长是吴敏慧老师。最后就是7年级的综合组长是庄雪玲老师，谢谢。
All right, so now let's head to the next segment of our orientation for today. May we call the school registrar, Mrs. Luzvi Mindasim, for her presentation.
好，有请注册部的主任施燕妮总主任讲话，谢谢。
Hello, good morning, everyone. I would like to give everybody a warm welcome. Thank you, parents, and of course, the students, and of course, our administrators. Okay, so for today, let me talk about some policies and procedures of the Registrar's Office. That's very important during the beginning of the school year. Okay, next slide, please. All right, for the topics today, we have enrollment and registration, 这就是注册报名 academic calendar, 我们的学历 Then we will have the withdrawal of enrollment, hope there is none, 这就是退学还有休学的事项 grades and report cards, 成绩单的事项 and of course, we have the last topic, the other policies and procedures, 其他的政策还有程序 Okay, next slide, please. Okay. First and foremost, we have enrollment and registration. For enrollment and registration, I would like to remind everybody, of course, I know almost all of you have already paid your tuition fees, but again, we would like to remind from the registrar's office that payment of tuition fee has to be made for you to be uploaded or for you to be included in the class list. That means there's one very important thing that you have to do, and that is, kindly, next slide, ma'am. You have to upload your transaction slip, okay? So if you don't upload it, you cannot go through the official enrollment. 付学费后，请把汇款单上传到我们的学生门户，才能确认报名。After the enrollment, ma'am, can you please go back? Thank you. Okay, after the enrollment and the registration, the students will be given a full access, even the parents will be given full access to our student portal. That would be my.cksc.edu.ph. For the new students, make sure that you log into your username and password. Okay, so 注册报名后，学生就会有学生门户的权限。别忘记了输入账号及密码。Next slide, please. Okay, for you to view your class or classes, your section, you have to go through, so you have to check on, next slide, please, ma'am. So you have to check your assessment. This is how our student portal looks like. Let me walk you through. So first, you have the assessment tab. 这就是你的计费单. Okay, next. Then you will be looking at the next tab, which is the classes tab. Okay, so for the classes tab, you have to encode or update your data. Okay, the contact details. Next, please. Okay, you have to fill in your addresses, your phone number, and emails, so as it would be easier for us to contact you. Okay, 要是限时班级前家长或者是学生要先更新联络方式。Now for the next one, if you want, so that is the only time that we can display your classes. So as you can see, you will see there the blue one, that's for grade school. Okay, that's a sample only, but for high school, it will be grades 7 to 10. So for English, that's the blue one. And for the, I think it's purple, that's the Chinese section. And then you will be able to see your class schedules here as well. Okay, as for the next one, we have the books. Okay, this is the book tab. Now in accessing your books, you have to make sure that you click the books that you want to buy and then check it out. Now, there are some remarks, okay, that the parents, I would like you to be reminded of so that you won't get confused where the books are. Am I ready to claim it, okay? So there are certain things, okay? 购买书籍要按 books, okay? Now, you have to check. Right now, you have here, if you have ordered or placed your order, 如果订购的时候呢，那看这些备注 waiting for payment. Okay, waiting for payment means we have not yet received your payment. Okay, next please. As for the next remarks, that could be proof of payment received. 这意思是说我们已经收到你付费的。Okay, so we have next slide, please. After paying, this means that we are already preparing. So the bookstore is already preparing all the things or all the books that you have purchased. And you are going to claim it at the bookstore. Okay. Now, next we have the academic calendar. As for the academic calendar, we are having for the junior high school a trimestral system. So that means we have 3 terms. 学校学历共有3个学期. Okay, so we have 第一个学期, 第二, 第三, first term, second term, and third term. Next, please. So to see the calendar, you have to go to the calendar tab. So you just click the calendar tab, then there will be a summary. 这就是我们的学校学历. Okay, you will see this, the summary. We have here the terms, when to have the first day, the periodic exams, and the release of grades. Now, if you want in full details, you just have to click the one that's more thorough. Next, please. Okay, this is how our full calendar will look like, okay? You can check it out in the student portal. It's already available, okay? Next, please. Now, for the periodic examination, we have here term 1, October 19 to 25. Term 2 will be February 15 to 21. And term 3, that's May 9 to 15. So which means the last day of school will be on the 15th, okay? So please refrain or avoid from being absent during these days because we are not going to give special examination to anyone except or unless there are valid excuses. 所以呢，家长麻烦注意一下，这些期考日期千万不要缺席 ，OK？ 学生不要缺席。Okay, next slide, please. Now, in terms of withdrawal of enrollment, just in case there are unforeseen circumstances, we have procedures right here. 退学休学的事项，有于不可思议的是呢，我们的程序是如下。First, you are going to write a written request from, of course, the parents indicating the reason of dropping or withdrawing from the school. 家长要写一份退学函书。Then second is to secure a clearance from the registrar's office. 要申请清单。Then third, you are going to pay for the clearance. 就是要付费。And fourth, you are going to obtain the necessary signatures from the authorized departments for the transfer of credentials. That would be 取得授权人员的签名。Okay, next, please. Okay, so for the tuition charges and refund, this is not applicable to all, but to some, for those who are going to avail of this one. 退费的政策如下. So here we have within the first week after the opening of classes, the school will be able to refund tuition and other fees 90%. That would be 开学的第一周，我们就可以退90% 的学费。Now for the second week after the opening of classes, it's 80%. 开学第二周可以退80%。那如果是 third week after the opening of classes, 就是开学第二周后就不能退费了。Okay, next please. As for the grades and report cards, okay, we have here the student portal again. We are going back to the student portal. So for the first term, grades may be viewed via the student portal. For the second term, grades, it will also be viewed by the student portal. And for the third term, there will be a physical report card that will be distributed. 所以呢，家长可以在学生门部查看学生的成绩单。Next, please. Now here is the sample of our portal. You just click the grades tab, and then you will have the report card here. But for some, you might be wondering why your cards are withheld. Now, these are the reasons, okay? 扣留成绩单的一些情况. So first is tuition payments are in arrears. That means 你们欠学费. Then you have admission requirements are incomplete. 就是入学证件不完整. Then we have suspension or expulsion. 就是停学. Okay, so please take note of this. If there will be problems in the student portal, kindly inform the registrar's office. Okay, next, please. Now, there are some other policies and procedures. Okay, first is the special examination. 这是补考的事项. Promotion and retention. 升级留级的事项. Then we have the awards and recognition. 就是奖励. And the last would be the summer and remedial classes. 暑期补习班. Okay, so let's try to look at the first one, special examination. So for a special exam, as I've informed you a while ago or earlier, that we do not just give it to anyone. So students who miss their periodic exams with valid excuses only. So what are these? First, we have illness. Next, we have funeral attendance, and the last one would be school official business. 所以呢，能申请补考的情况只有病假、丧事，还有学校公务，或者是到校外当学校的代表。Okay. For the next one, we have promotion and retention. So just to be promoted to junior high school, everybody must pass the elementary. And for you to be promoted to senior high school, you have to pass all the junior high school learning areas. Okay, let's move on to the first slide. All right, so here for promotion, you must attain a grade of at least 75 in all learning areas to be promoted. So all subjects, no? All subjects. Next, I don't need to translate, there's a Chinese there. Okay, for the remedial and summer classes, if you did not meet expectations in at most 2 subjects or 2 learning areas, so what do you have to do? You have to take and pass the remedial classes for learning areas with failing marks to be promoted to the next grade level. Otherwise, the learner is retained in the same grade level. I would like to emphasize this one. For those who will not take their summer classes, or you fail to take summer classes when you are asked to, we regret that you have to be retained to the same grade level for the upcoming school year. Okay, next, please. As for the retention, if you did not meet expectations in 3 or more learning areas or 3 or more subjects, so you will be retained. Now, this is another emphasis. 我想强调一下这个 the subject mother tongue or Chinese is part of the English curriculum. Thus, failing the subject is considered as one failed English subject. So please do not disregard that. Ay, Chinese lang yan. But it's part of the report card of English. Okay, so in case of Chinese instruction, a student failed in all subjects, 中文、综合、数学, then you have to be retained. But you still have to remediate 中文 in order to earn credit for mother tongue or Chinese because it's found in the English report card. So if the student failed in 3 or more subjects in English, then there's no need to remediate 中文. Okay, I hope that's clear. As for awards and recognition, 就是我们的奖励, okay, we are going to have our Academic Achievers Recognition Day. So for this school year, for the last school year, we are going to award our achievers this coming August 19. The registrar's office will be informing everyone who will be involved through emails. Okay, next, please. So what are the different awards? Okay, so to provide all the learners equal opportunity to excel in all learning areas with respect to the standards set by the curriculum, awards and recognition will be granted based on the following guidelines. Number 1, we include all learners, even transferees, for as long as they've met the criteria. Next, indicate that there can be 2 or more recipients of any award. So that means a student can get as many awards as they can. So the more, the merrier. Then specify that there is no qualified learners. If there is no qualified learner, then the award shall not be given. Okay, next, please. Okay, so there are different types of awards. First, we have the classroom award. These are recognition given to learners in each class or section. So we simply put it every term. So every quarter, every term, there will be an honor. So that will be with honors, with highest honors, and with higher honors. Okay, okay. So next we have the grade level award. These are also given to qualified learners for every grade level at the end of the school year. This is only given at the end. So this is the final award from grades 1 to 10. And the last one would be the special recognition award. So this is given by the school to qualify grade 6 and grade 10 learners only who have represented and won. Okay, please take note of won in competitions in district, division, regional, national, and international level. So let us try to look at the classroom award. As you know, a lot of you have been familiar to this. So this is what we refer to as the highest honors, with high honors and with honors. So the award for academic excellence is given to grades 1 to 12 who have attained an average of at least 90 and no grades below 80 in any learning area. Okay, learners must have attained a conduct rating of at least 80%. So if they qualify, then they can have this every term. Term 1, term 2, term 3. Okay, next slide, please. As for the grade level award, this is the same, only it's given at the end of the school year. So it's also given from grades 1 to 10 with an average of 90, at least 90, and no final grade below 80. That means there should be no 70 plus, no, for below 80 of grade. And of course, the conduct rating should be at least 80 as well. So here are the criteria and the range of grades. We have another type of grade level award, and that is, next slide, please, ma'am. All right, so this is the award for outstanding performance in specific disciplines, which means that this will only be given to our graduates and completers, grades 6, 10, and 12, who have attained a final grade of at least 95 in any of the following learning areas. So this could be English, science, math, Filipino, Araling Panlipunan, and technology, even for Chinese subjects, 中文综合 and 数学. Okay, next, please. Okay, as for the special recognition, learners must have consistently represented and won in academics, athletics, arts, and other competitions in district level. This is given to all, not just the graduates. Okay. Now, for the special recognition, there are different types of awards. We have Leadership Award, given to grade 6 and grade 10, and Young Mathematician Award, that is, learners have consistently won in competitions in math. Young Artist Award, who have won and represented a school in arts and design competition. Young Artist Award, for Scientist Award rather, we have science competitions, and Young Athlete Awards, who has represented and won in sports competition. But take note, this should be also in international, national, regional division, or district level rather. Okay, next, please. All right, so for other guidelines, you can check out the school portal. We'll be posting all of the guidelines there in the student portal. Now, for the communication channel, you can contact the school through different social media or contact details. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even our website, www.cksc.edu.ph for the basic education. And our phone number is 028-252-6161. And we have our official email, info@cksc.edu.ph. Okay. Next. And of course, you can personally contact the registrar's office at the following contact details. We have 028-252-6161 local 2702, or we have the mobile phone 0956-8724-676, and our email registrar@cksc.edu.ph. All right, so I think that's about it. Before I leave, I would like to inform everyone that in CKS College, we will always bridge your child to a higher, brighter, and stronger future. Thank you so much and have a good day.
All right, thank you to our school registrar, Mrs. Sim. So again, a gentle reminder to our parents and guardians that we will address your questions and concerns later on. Now, this time, watch some AVP from the Student Services and Academic Support Departments. Let's start with the Discipline Office.
A pleasant day to our esteemed parents and guardians. We from the Chiang Kai-shek College Discipline Office have prepared a brief orientation on the general school year 2023 to 2024 guidelines. First, we tackle the leave of absence form. Students who cannot attend classes must secure a leave of absence form from the Discipline Office. Students may get the leave of absence form by emailing the Discipline Office emails. Parents and students may also use the Chiang Kai-shek College website to secure the leave of absence form. Last, students may also go to the Discipline Office to get the physical copy of the leave of absence form. The leave of absence form must be filled out and returned to the Discipline Office. The Discipline Office issues an excuse slip or exemption slip to the student. The student then presents the excuse or exemption slip to their teachers to schedule makeup tests. Please note that students are advised to get the excuse or exemption slip immediately once they can return to school. Now, let's talk about some examples of when students are issued an excuse or exemption slip. Exemption slips are given to students absent for 5 days or more due to sickness or medical operations. Students who participate in extracurricular activities approved by the college president are given an exemption slip. Having an exemption slip entails a student being exempted from all quizzes and activities they missed. On the other hand, excuse slips are given to students who are absent for less than 5 days due to sickness. Other examples include passport appointments or family gatherings. Having an excuse slip entails that a student must take a makeup test or makeup activity. Please know that whenever a student is absent due to sickness, it is highly encouraged that the student presents a medical certificate to the Discipline Office and reports to the school clinic before going to the classroom. Next, let's move on to the school uniforms. These are the prescribed school uniforms for the school year 2023 to 2024. Note that students are required to wear complete and proper uniform attire on all school days. Students may wear their MAPE uniform on days wherein they have MAPE classes. Lastly, our uniforms are available in the school bookstore. Next, let's talk about some general reminders. First, the school flag ceremony schedule. The flag ceremony will be held every Tuesday for grades 1, 2, and 3. The flag ceremony will be held every Wednesday for grades 4, 5, and 6. For grades 7 to 10, the flag ceremony will be held every Thursday. Students are advised to come to school earlier on days when they are scheduled to have the flag raising ceremony. Next, we now go to the discussion of tutorial services. All tutorial services will be conducted inside the school campus. The tutorial services will start at 4:30 p.m. and will strictly end at 7 p.m. We advise parents to fetch their children immediately once tutorial services end. Registration for tutorial services will begin on August 3rd. Kindly approach the Discipline Office to register for tutorial services. Last, a gentle reminder for our dear parents that students are not allowed to use their cell phones during class hours. Students may be permitted to use their cell phones to contact their parents or to conduct research. Students must first ask their teacher or discipline officers before using their phones. Students cannot use their cell phones to play games, surf the internet, or do other non-school related activities. And that concludes this brief presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach us through email, text, or phone call. Thank you, and have a wonderful day ahead.
All right, thank you. Now let's head to the next AVP from the school clinic.
Welcome to school year 2023 to 2024. We at the Chiang Kai-shek College Health Services Department are pleased to welcome you all back. And for those of you who are new with us, let me walk you through. This is our school clinic located at the ground floor of the Padre Alge campus, where you will find the school health personnel. They are doctors, dentists, and nurses of our school. Headed by Dr. David Lim, we have a total of 3 doctors, 2 nurses, and 2 dentists, all happy to help whenever you need us. The school doctors are Dr. Eddie Lobrera, Dr. David Lim, and Dr. Melodine Yuchigano. I'm sure most of you are familiar with their faces. Just like with our 2 nurses, Miss Ana Marie Avancenia and Miss Joanna Jokno. When you have toothache or any problem with your teeth, you may want to see Dr. Lagrimas Arevalo or Dr. Mary Ann Kua. The main objective of the school health program is to provide the optimal physical, social, and educational development of our students. We believe that a healthy child with a healthy mind will help the child learn more in school. Now you may wonder, what is the purpose of health services? Of course, we provide medical and dental services to the students. We take part in the holistic approach of patient care to attain the optimal well-being for the students. We do physical exam every year, which helps in appraising the health of each child. On a daily basis, we assess every child that comes to us as accurately as possible. Pre-COVID pandemic, we have regular schedule for face-to-face physical checkup covering all the enrolled students. This checkup includes medical and dental examination. Whenever there is a need, the healthcare professionals in our clinic may recommend further management with the student's private doctors. If a student is not feeling well or is actually sick, a thorough physical examination will be done according to the symptoms. If we decide to send the patient home, coordinated efforts will be ensured for the well-being of the patient. Necessary measures such as first aid will be given, and the parents or guardians will be informed of the patient's condition. Proper referral system will be utilized. The School Health Services Department likewise give lectures and provide current health education topics to our students, like proper hand washing, proper nutrition, puberty education, drugs and substance abuse, alcoholism, AIDS, and HIV, to name a few. We have been giving lectures from kinder level to senior high school students as well. We likewise have a medical bulletin board for health information or even awareness of some issues or certain topics. Lately, because of the recent COVID-19 pandemic, we started shifting to social media. Due to the pandemic, everybody has been using the web to converse, to interact, and to teach. The health services have likewise adapted this change so that we can still maximize our services to the school community. What are the other health benefits being offered to the students and employees? Chiang Kai-shek College has accident insurance coverage and also memorandum of agreement with Metropolitan Medical Center and with Manila Doctors Hospital, which provide discounts for students, teachers, and employees, including their qualified dependents. These announcements are posted in the school website. These are some of the pictures taken prior to the pandemic when we see students and employees. We have likewise taken part in the government's oral polio mass immunization through the effort of our local city government. At the start of the pandemic, we have started to adapt and adjust to the current challenges. We hope to see you all in person soon. If any of you need to consult or have any health concerns that you wish to be addressed, feel free to call us at the following phone numbers and email address. We are happy to serve. Stay healthy and safe.
All right, so that's for the school clinic. And finally, we have the AVP from the Guidance and Counseling Office. All right. So that's it for the Guidance and Counseling Offices, AVP. Finally, we are now at the Q&A segment of our orientation today.
Okay. Good morning. Am I being heard, Miss Nemi? Okay, I'm being heard. So, good morning, dear parents and all our stakeholders. We'll be addressing your concerns one by one. So, thank you for patiently waiting for this opportune time for us to respond to your questions. So, first, let's go to the very first question. We don't have books for English math, right? So, yes, sir. Sir or ma'am, to all our parents, we do not have any textbooks for English math this incoming school year because we have modules to be used in math. Now, our modules in math for grade 7 would be focused on algebra. For grade 8, that would be intermediate algebra. For grade 9, that would be geometry and trigonometry. For grade 10, that would be geometry, advanced algebra, and statistics. So you see, why am I explaining this? Because there is a need for us to understand that our modules are custom designed to address the content need. I mean, the content knowledge need of our students, because currently we do not have any textbook or book that can get that. I think I explained it already. So that's why we do not have a textbook. So please be guided accordingly. Next, let's go to the next question. Miss Cassie, to the supervisor of the Chinese instruction. I think this is a Chinese question. So perhaps you could help us out here, Miss Cassandra.
Yes, sir. Is it the third question ba? The third
From Miss
question?
Sophie Ann Tan.
Okay.
It's in Chinese.
送餐在1号跟2号，1号大门不是4号大门。
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the question is more of where do they
food
place
drop.
their baons, right? Like their lunch, their baon. We will be setting up a table here at the campus for your children to get it. But basically, what you can do is that the parents or the guardians or perhaps our house helps could just leave it with our security personnel, and the security personnel will be the one to transfer it to the designated table for our children to get it. Of course, we want to feed them with warm food and healthy food, right? Though, of course, our cafeteria services are available. But if you want, you could always bring your lunch packs or lunch boxes for your children. Thank you, parents. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I think this is more of a commentary. We will answer that later. We'll try to group it because I've seen a lot of comments about this one. So we'll try to go back there later on. Ma'am and sir will explain that. Next, why is it 6-day cycle? Please explain the 6-day cycle. Okay, now the 6-day cycle is a method that we use even before the pandemic. The 6-day cycle, just to explain, dear parents and guardians, the 6-day cycle works like this. You're not looking at each day as a day itself, like it's a Monday today, it's a Tuesday today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No, you will not look at it as that. Instead, we will look at each day as, for example, we start our school year with day 1. Example only, day 1. And it's a Monday. So Monday will be day 1, Tuesday will be day 2, Wednesday would be 3, Thursday will be 4, and Friday will be 5. Now, we call it a 6-day cycle. So where's the 6th day? It will not be the Saturday. No, the 6th day will be the next Monday. Okay, in the incoming week. So that's basically how 6-day cycle works. Now, your question, why do we have to migrate to 6-day cycle, or why do we have to go back to that? If you would notice our schedule, in a day, students will only have 3 English subjects per se, generally. thanks to 6-day cycle. Now, by doing that, students will be more focused into learning. We'll try to promote more mastery for that matter. Okay, so students will not have to think of all the subjects that they have to really study for that day alone. Also, that could help in terms of what books to be carried for that particular day. So it's also a way for us to lessen or to alleviate the burden of carrying so much books and things to school. Okay, so basically these are just some of the underlying reasons why do we have 6-day cycle. Of course, aside from the fact that it would make our students more focused and give more attention to the subject matter. All right. So basically that's how 6-day cycle works. So if you still have a question to that, please feel free to contact us. No problem. Now, let's try to look into this one. Okay, I think this is more of the commentary of the 8 hours in the class. Dear parents, in retrospect, before the pandemic, if you would remember, this was our schedule before. This was our schedule before, and we do understand that perhaps you're thinking about the wellness of your child and the health of your child, but this was a previous practice. But I think there was a request about the homeroom to be removed. Now we do understand that. We'll look into the matter, but we're not promising anything as of the moment. But thank you for such a feedback to us. We'll look into that, ma'am. But the schedule that, ma'am, sir, but the schedule that we have, we design it to really maximize the learning that our school can provide to your children. Given the fact that we're coming from a pandemic and studies, research have shown that our children suffered some knowledge gap because of certain adjustments that we have to do. So I hope you would allow us to really teach the children and for them to learn with the current setup or schedule that we have. But again, we're not closing our doors with the possibility about the homeroom. We'll look into that. But the homeroom, so you know, dear parents and guardians, homeroom is important in a sense that this is the time for us to talk to the students. Advisors can talk to the students if they have certain concerns or problems about certain subjects or even personally. We want to listen from our children. So that's basically the reason behind or the rationale behind the homeroom. All right. So let's move on. Ma'am, perhaps you can help me out. We have so much question here. Um, Here. I think this is a question for Miss Luz. I paid directly to school. Do I need to upload? Miss Luz?
Yeah, I would like to acknowledge that question. If you pay in school, you don't need to upload that one. But if it's book concern, if you pay the books fee here in school, you still need to upload that one. I'm just referring to the tuition fee. So once you paid your tuition fee here in school, it will directly be accounted for. So no need to upload that one. But if you pay in banks or mobile or any forms other than here in school, you still need to upload your transactions there.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Luz, for that answer. Let's move on. I think this is more of a comment as well. The landline does not work. Our sincere apologies to your parents, because currently I think there are some issues with our service provider, but rest assured that we're doing our active follow-up with our service provider, with our our phone lines. Okay, we're doing something
Survey.
to it. Yes, Miss
Survey.
Luz.
May I add, no? So
Please.
other than that landline, we still have other contact details. We have
Correct.
posted them in Facebook, so they could actually contact us, not just through the landline. We also have our mobile phones and email.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. That's correct. I was about to say that, Miss Lu. So, dear guardians and parents, if you really have urgent concerns, please do email us. There are other modes of communicating with us. So please do so. We welcome that. And rest assured, we're doing something about such concern. Water refilling station. Should we have that? As far as I know, we have water fountains situated throughout the entire campus. And I understand that our BGF, if I'm not mistaken, would always constantly have that checked in terms of its safety. If it's safe to drink from that fountain or whatsoever. But I read an experience from a parent here from grade school, I think. But we're sorry for that, but perhaps that would just be an isolated case, ma'am. But we do have water fountains around the area, and I think our personnel from the DO, our allied offices, answer that as well. Okay, moving on. What is the rule for homework? Okay, homework. Okay, regarding homework, we do understand that we want to give our children their deserved rest. Of course, we want that. Regarding homework, parents and guardians, we want you to understand that homework is a form of reinforcement for learning. It's needed for our students to learn. But we have this policy, especially in the English academic, in our instruction, that we do understand the context of our Filipino Chinese students here in Chiang Kai-shek College. So we tell our teachers to limit as much as possible, limit the giving of homeworks on weekdays and no homework during weekends. No homework during weekends so that it could serve as a family time for everybody. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. Perhaps as Chinese instruction, Miss Cassie, would you want to respond to that question? As per the Chinese instruction, what's the policy about giving of homeworks? Thank you.
好，那关于那个家庭作业呢，我们应该只限于就是写字作业 writing homework only， 那
Okay,
也不会很多。好
that's about it, Miss Cassie.
，yes po。
All right. So thank you, Miss Cassie. Moving on to our next question. What is the protocol if there will be a student in the class who is COVID positive? Are they still required to wear face masks? I think that's a separate question. So perhaps let's ask our doctors in this facility to please answer. Anyone from the health services who'd like to respond regarding that matter?
Yes, well, sir, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Chicano.
Dr. Chicano is the volume's kind of weak.
Hi, weak.
Yes, yes. But we can hear you
Yes, can you hear me better now?
so much better as compared to earlier.
Yes, sir. Regarding the protocol for the COVID, we still follow the protocol sent by the school in the website. That's from June 2022. I'll just put the link on the chat box.
Mhm.
We still follow that.
Okay, we still follow that. Even that would include the wearing of mask protocol, Miss.
The wearing of masks, we still
Mhm.
we highly recommend wearing of face masks in school, especially in crowded or enclosed spaces. But
Mhm.
during typical PE classes, when they are in open space, doing strenuous activities, they can remove.
Okay, so if it's a PE I would reiterate that, dear parents and guardians, so that we're all guided. Of course, this is about health. So if it's an open space like a PE, students can remove their face mask, right? Because they're doing strenuous activities, right? Doc Chicano, is that correct? But if it's an enclosed space, it's highly recommended that they wear face masks.
Yes, correct, sir.
Correct. So please be guided, dear parents. Okay. When does the school start? We start by August 1. We start by August 1. But dear parents, of course, everything will be experiencing a transition, for that matter, given that they're coming from summer. So we're giving our students an orientation days from August 1 to 4. That would be orientation days. So everyone will be on the same page, everybody will be guided. So no problem. No child in junior high school will be left behind. So your children is safe with us. Okay, will there be, wait, let's move on to the next question. Um, so I think I answered August 1, right? Um, will there be lockers? Will there be lockers? Perhaps you could like talk to our BGF about that. Like you can go to Miss Natalie in the main office, in the main building, in the main office, in the here in front of here in the campus. Look for Miss Natalie Choi and perhaps ask regarding the availability of lockers. Okay, start of classes would be August 1. I think I answered that already. Um, what will the students bring on the first day of school? Okay, so that's a direct question to me. Like you could like ask your children to bring a notebook and a ball pen, just like perhaps keep it light for the first 4 days of school so that they can do note taking. There you go. Anyways, it's orientation day. Just like what I told you, we want our children to be guided. So thank you, ma'am, for that question. Hi, Sir Villaverde. How can I update my classes on the student portal? Okay, I think we could ask Miss Luz regarding this one. Miss Luz, this is something about the student portal. It's a direct question to me.
Yeah, what type of
How can I
update?
update my classes on the student portal? I think it's referring to the schedule of the child.
Okay, if it's the classes, okay, I believe you're referring to the upcoming school year. We are going to
Think so.
publish that anytime next week. Okay, so you will be able to see your child's class section plus the class schedule. Okay, as depends on the schedule that was shown a while ago. But then just for a clarification, we would like the parents also to update their contact details
Mhm.
through the portal. So
Mhm.
upon clicking classes, there will be a pop-up box that will ask you to update your contact details. That way we could reach them easily through this correct contact details.
Thank you. Thank you for that gentle reminder, Miss Luz. I think that's a very important reminder. Dear parents and guardians, kindly update your contact details with us because we are very proactive in informing our dear parents and guardians because we see you as partners in learning and teaching. So we need to contact you. So please do give us the contact details that are all working. All right. So that we can like give you a feedback regarding your child. Why are there two skeds for the different two different sections? I think there's a need for us to do so to accommodate all our enrollees in terms of the availability of the teachers for this current school year. Okay, so let's move on. I just move this chat facility. If the dismissal gates are gates 1 and 2, does not this mean that gates 3 and 4 are the entrance gates in the morning? No, sir. The dismissal gates will also be their entrance gates. So kindly use gates 1 and 2 because that is strategically near the classrooms of the junior high school. Okay, but so thank you, Sir William. When will you guys release the list of students in each section? Let's ask the registrar about this. How would they
Sir,
know what section
yeah,
they belong to?
as I've informed everyone a while ago, we are going to release the class sections by next week. Okay, and also their class schedule. So you'll just have to consult and visit your student portal. We will give you an announcement by then.
Mhm. Okay, next question. For a while, I'm navigating the chat facility. For periodical exam, will it be like last school year? Term by term, written exam, English, and performances or performance exam in Chinese. I believe for the English instruction, it would be pen and paper.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be going back to the pen and paper exam for English instruction to give our children a sense of normalcy. Okay, how about for the Chinese? Perhaps Miss Cassandra, Teacher Cassie can answer that.
有关阶段考跟英文不一样，就是回到疫情前也是那种书写方式的，就是英文部如果是纸笔的考试，中文部也是一样，纸笔的考试，我们没有那个任务型的那个阶段考。
Okay, that's
Okay,
it.
sir.
Miss Cassie.
It's just the same as the English instruction.
So pen and paper. Pen and paper. So all will be pen and paper for the periodic exam. All right. So this is a very valid question coming from Miss Jacqueline. What will happen to the 6-day cycle when there is no class? So if there will be no class, like for example, there's a holiday, so it would just continue. So for example, Monday is day 1, Tuesday is a holiday, then Wednesday will be day 2. Okay, so it will be just a continuous process of counting 1 to 6. Another thing, this may happen. I'm already opening it to you, dear parents. What if there will be a class suspension due to typhoon? How will we do the counting for a 6-day cycle? For example, it's day 1 today, and there's a class suspension like half day. So tomorrow there's classes already. Will it be day 2? No, it will be day 1 still. So that you see, we would really aim for the child to master and focus the lesson for that particular day. So all subject areas would have equal time, contact time with our students, and we are ensuring the content rich lesson for them. Locker for grade 10, again, we can like look for Miss Natalie for that matter. When will the new class schedule be uploaded? For the class schedule, what do we mean by new class schedule?
Sir, again, the class schedule will be posted together with the class sections.
Okay, there you go. So
Portal again, student portal.
student portal. So student portal. But again, I'm just I'm just wondering what's the new there. We're not if it's about changing it, lessening the number of hours. Again, we're not promising it yet. We said we'll look into that. Okay, so it's still up to the discretion of the school, and we'll keep you posted regarding that if ever. Okay, moving on. For a while, I was just wondering why the schedule of junior high school is earlier than the grade school. I have LM and junior high school kids who go to school at the same time, meaning my younger kids should wait. Before pandemic schedule, LM is earlier than the junior high school. Okay, so I think we have to we will ask the supervisor for the grade school to look into this matter, because for now what we're presenting with you is the junior high school. But I think we'll look into that, Sir James, and perhaps we'll give you a contact. We'll try to contact you to explain that matter. Okay, regarding the disparity that you observe. Thank you, Sir James. Let's move on to the next question. In relation to the 6-day cycle, may I ask if MAPEC classes are online? No, our MAPEC classes will be physical po. It will be physical. Again, here's a comment here. I hope you don't see it as we would want to exhaust the child. Because again, if we would go back to the schedule, they only have 3 English classes per day. Okay, I think I answered already what is done. The homeroom, regarding the homeroom. How many students in one classroom? Okay, here's a question. So approximately we have 30 students, around 30 students, roughly 30 students per room.
Sana daw si Chinese. I-translate yung English para naiintindihan ng lahat.
I think Miss Luz already answered some of the questions here. What are the uniforms to be worn for each day? We couldn't catch the part due to microphone problems a while ago. Okay, Sir Elvis, the uniform would be the prescribed uniform. You could just wear, your child can just wear the PE uniform during PE days, but the rest of the days they have to be in the prescribed uniform, like the polo and the prescribed pants or skirt for girls. Okay po. Okay, there you go. How many sections are there? How many sections are there? Are you asking for the entire junior high school, sir? I think Miss Luz can better explain this. Ma'am, they're interested to know how many sections are there. I think for the junior high school, because there's no specific grade level.
Well, actually, I cannot specifically tell you how many sections we have because we still have ongoing enrollment. And
Mhm.
apparently, sections will depend on the number of students.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Luz. So we're still working on it, guys, because enrollment is still going on. Will you upload this meeting in CKSCFB account? Is that it? We'll
Yes, that's
ask.
right. We will.
Okay, so FB.
We will come.
Okay. How about YouTube? Will it be uploaded on YouTube? We'll keep you posted regarding this matter. But for FB, Miss Luz is assuring us that the recording will be uploaded there. Okay. Yes. Again, rest assured, we're doing our active follow-up with our service provider for that matter. We've been doing this, but again, there are other alternatives for you guys to contact us, dear parents. Again, Miss Luz already answered this question. School start August 1 for junior high school, ma'am and sir. There you go. Already answered, approximately 30. Do we need to order in the bookstore or order in CKSC portal for the books? So what is our Miss Luz? Can the portal handle such order of books?
Well, sir, actually, for the junior high school, are you referring to the junior high school, sir?
Yes. I think this is junior
Yes,
high
I
school.
believe. Yeah, I believe our books are available in the student portal. Okay, as I've presented a while ago, you can order your books in a portal, but the claiming of the books will be right at the bookstore.
Okay. Okay, I think this is already answered. Hmm. The uniform, I think this is more of DO concern. So perhaps our DO personnel can answer this. Should the boys have their polos tucked, or is it a jacket style? So anyone from our DO can answer this. So I think we have a problem with our connection with our DO, but we'll try to go back to that question. I'll give you an answer to that for a while.
Good morning. Am I audible,
Okay.
sir?
There you go. I think we have Ma'am Lynn to answer. Ma'am
Okay,
Lynn, their question is for the top uniform of the boys. Should be tucked or jacket style would be okay.
it is a jacket style, sir.
A jacket style. Okay. So there'd be no more problem for our boys to tuck their polos. So
Yes.
jacket style. Thank you, Miss
Thank
Lynn.
you, sir.
So moving forward, our orientation started at exactly 9:05. When will it end? When we're all done answering your questions, ma'am and sir. Okay. How can I? Okay, so I think that was answered by Miss Luz already. Um, okay. Hmm. Okay. Are you going to give handouts so we don't need to print from Google Classroom? Okay, we can upload if ever the PowerPoint presentations of teachers if the students would need, because other teachers would require students to do note taking, like they could jot down notes so that they can, because there's a studies would show that whatever you write you remember even better. But if handouts are needed, of course I think teachers would provide such. Okay. Hmm. No problem, ma'am. Miss Sabine, regarding this matter. We'll talk to our teachers. I could assure you that for the English instruction regarding the scheduling of quizzes. Okay, so like how many quizzes would be allowed in a day? Okay, Miss, we'll ask Miss Cassandra. Miss Cassandra, for the Chinese, can we give an assurance to our parents here about the giving of quizzes?
Sir, for the Chinese, we assure that we will only have one subject uh, quiz, one quiz for a subject only per day.
Hmm. So one quiz
One quiz only.
only per day in
Ah.
Chinese. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, dismissal time. Yeah, it would be clogged. That's why if you see there's a certain time difference between the two. That's why we try to give them specific dismissal gates. Yes, we're going to use Google Classroom, sir, but it's not for us to give any task or activity or whatever graded things or drills it works there. No, everything will be done physically. So just like what was said in this orientation, it will just be a repository of files. Okay, even the announcements will be done physically by the teachers. So no worries, Sir Benito. Thank you po. What type of masks are required? Washable or disposable? Perhaps we could ask our clinic. What mask are you recommending? Is it the disposable or the washable face mask?
Hello, sir.
Yes, po. Hello, Doc Dewitt. So
Yes,
we have a
sir.
question here. What is required? What type of face mask? Washable or disposable?
It doesn't matter which face mask you use, sir. Okay lang naman, washable or disposable. As long as it's a clean one every day. Don't recycle na lang siguro. Washable, you wash, it's okay.
Okay. Thank you for that, Doc. Moving on. Okay, I think the protocol for COVID-19 is already the link. The hyperlink is there already. You can click on that. Okay, that's already announced. Okay, that's already answered. Yes, po, we'll be posting it via Facebook. Dismissal time for August 1 to 4 would be the same.
4:15.
4:15. Okay. What? Okay. I think you can check that already in the class schedule that will be posted. The use of laptop or PC. Like, I don't know what's the question about this one. Like, are you allowed to bring laptop or you need a PC to be brought here? I don't think so. That's quite big. But like if you are going to use it at home, yes, perhaps for certain projects, but not for you to attend a class because we are all full on face-to-face mode. Okay. When will the ID be released? I think during the first week, if ever. Okay. Our IT personnel are working on that. What building will the sections be? We're going to have the standard program will be housed in Yuketai building. Okay. So the front building of CKSC Padre Alge. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay, we're moving on. Are students allowed to change sections after they get to know their sections, Miss Luz? This is a direct message.
Come again, sir.
Can students still change? Do a request for section change.
Well, actually, sir, we section the students randomly, no? And we are making sure that there are not much change that have been done. We are doing the best that we can. So, but of course, of course, the students have to follow whatever was assigned or is assigned to them. Okay.
Okay.
Unless there will be valid reasons or something that is an exception, we are going to listen to them. Okay.
Okay. So unless it's valid, we can accommodate that, right? So
That is right, sir.
sorry.
Sir, by the
Thanks for
way,
that.
I would like to add regarding the question about the ID, when it will be released. By the first week of, during the first week, that's 1 to 4, no? The
Yes.
students will be requested to take their photos during the first week. And I am pertaining to those who have been online for the past few years,
Correct.
and the new student and returning students. But as for the ones who are already attending their physical classes last year, they could start wearing their ID on their first day.
So for those who are attending, again, we would want to reiterate that those who are attending, those who are attending classes here on campus physically last year, you can use your IDs. But for those who are like going back from online, and for new students, we of course we want to upgrade your IDs already. Okay, next, I think this is um for wait a minute, I lost it. Okay. This is for, I think, for our student life. Um, our parent here is very apologetic. He missed the part about the flag ceremony. Can we repeat what time will the flag ceremony be for grade 7 to 10? Ma'am or sir from our DO, what time will be the flag ceremony and what day? I think we can add that.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
For grade 1, 2, and
For,
3,
mhm.
it would be on Tuesdays, and the call time would be 7:45.
Yeah, but
So,
for junior high school, sir, 7 to 10.
okay, for junior high school, it would be on Thursdays, right?
Thursdays, what time, sir?
And the call time would be 7:15,
7:15. So, uh,
7:15. Correct.
okay. So there you go. You heard it po, ma'am, sir. 7:15 on a Thursday. Okay, I hope that's clear, sir. Thank you. Thank you from RDO. Next question. Do we need a fetcher's ID? So I think this is also uh answered there. Okay. Teacher, will the students have a whole day schedule on the first day? Yes, Paul, because you need to meet all your teachers so that you are oriented already.
For the orientation.
Okay. So somehow you sorry. Yes, Paul. You will be using your laptops and your computer for homeworks, for projects, but you don't have to bring them like in class unless there's a need. Lockers again, Miss Natalie can answer that if you can let's look for him here on campus. For food drop off, does the student need to go down to get their food, or there's someone that will distribute their food to their classroom? For our junior high school, we would want to request our children to go down like a light from their rooms and get their food. Okay, only for our younger children, we would have someone to deliver their foods to them. Okay. Okay. What else? I'm browsing through. I'm navigating to the chat facilities. And extracurricular activities like track and field and MAPE replace MAPE. Actually, we do have exemptions for MAPE. But the exemption cases would be applicable if you are enrolled in CAMPA, if you are currently enrolled in CAMPA, if you're part of the Students Development Office, and if you belong to Scout, and you are a trainee for our math and science. So there are actually 4 exemption cases for MAPE. CAMPA, SDO, math, science training, and the Scout. All right. Okay. Regarding the plan for K to 12, we'll have to wait for the government mandate on that, ma'am, sir. Do we have scouting? Yes, we do have. What specific? Okay, I think I answered that already. Will you, will you be bringing back the school opening to June next school year? Then of course we will be looking into that matter perhaps next school year, ma'am and sir. But for now, we'll have our opening for August. All right. Now regarding student do they tap in again? So the parents will know they went and go home because plan to let him go home on his own. Yeah, they would tap in, tap out system will happen. Okay. Again, Miss Luz will be posting it already, your sections. If school uniforms are currently all be if our school uniforms are currently all being washed and there are no available, what can we wear? PE to school? I think our DO personnel answered that via chat. Okay. Okay, updating of the student portal. Perhaps Miss Luz will take charge of that. Okay, for a while. Ma'am Lemmy, can you please?
All right, so here are some other questions. What if there is still no uniform given to us by the bookstore? What should we wear? Can we have any school personnel from the discipline office answer this question so that everyone else can benefit from your response?
Actually, we have some more questions here, but some of the questions are quite similar in nature. So we'll try to yeah, some are questions, some are comments, but basically they just belong to the same tree, I suppose. So we'll look into this. Okay. I think this question, do we need to bring all the books? No, don't bring the books on August 1 to 4. Just notebook and ballpen. Okay. A transferee has gotten the CKSE account, Miss Luz, for transferee. Perhaps this is a
Sir,
follow-up.
yeah,
They
for
don't have the
transferee
CKSE account.
returning students, new students, we are constantly sending communication through through the email that you have given us or provided us. We'll be sending it to you. So kindly wait kasi baka you have just enrolled and it takes a few days to process it by ITOs.
Thank you, Miss Luz. Okay, I'm browsing through all your questions, but then again, they all are quite the same and similar. Okay po, so I think that would be all for our question and answer. So I'll return the microphone to our facilitator, Miss Lemmy Florenda. Thank you, dear parents and guardians. Thank you. Thank you for being proactive. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, parents and guardians, for your questions. And should you have other questions, concerns, and clarifications, you may reach out to the pertinent office and key personnel via email or contact number, which can be found on the school's official website or the school's official Facebook account. Here are some thoughts to ponder. Next slide, please. So together, which is the school and the home, may we give our children roots to grow and wings to fly. So this stresses on the importance of having a dedicated school and home partnership. So once again, dear parents and guardians, thank you for your time and proactive involvement in your child's education. That would be all for today. Thank you for coming, and we're all excited and looking forward to a wonderful school year. Bye, everyone.